Wedding days are full of so many moments. We are spoiled for choice on fun things to photograph, and I love these moments because they're real and they show the bonds between circles of friends and families, but I also love making something a bit more special, a bit more artistic, those showstoppers. You can't have the entire wedding collection as candid documentary because it doesn't feel rounded and complete when you're looking through the collection. So on a wedding day, I'll always aim to deliver something to the client that's worthy of being hung as a large print in their home. So today I'm going to break down this image, including the approach to making it and post-production in Lightroom. So let me know what you think in the comments. Here we go. Hey everyone, I hope you're all good. So I made this image nearly 2 years ago, but it remains a favourite of mine, mainly I think due to its simplicity in terms of its composition and colour. And as I talk through this process of how it was made, including the edit, it proves that you don't need stunning locations and backdrops to make, unique images. So I made this late one night, and it was actually one of the last images of the day, and all I used was one off-camera flash and a can of atmosphere aerosol. And if I can set the scene, this wedding was a DIY wedding, and the theme was kind of a boho festival of music and games, and the hall that held the reception was decorated with masses of coloured ribbons and balloons. So before I left in the evening, I wanted to get at least one arty portrait of the couple with a hint of this theme. And I was originally going to do something inside with the masses of ribbons, but there were so many people in there, and it was so busy and there wasn't actually another room that I could take them into. I ended up just deciding to go outside instead. So this was made on the lawn out the front, and I'm sorry I don't have any BTS video from this wedding, but it was very dark, and if I can crank the exposure of this first image to show you the kind of environment we're in, you can see that we're just on the lawn. There's a couple of houses in the background, and that's it. And it's quite a big lawn, and it had a few large trees around, but this was very much in an open space, which goes to show that this kind of photo can be done anywhere in an outdoor location when it's dark. So I take the couple outside, and on the way I steal these balloons from one of the kids at the wedding. Yes, I returned them. And I didn't do any test shots out there until we got out there, which is quite unusual for me actually. Normally I set this kind of shot up before getting the couple, but I had an idea of what I wanted to capture, and I was pretty confident I could do it quickly. So to summarise the details, this shot was made on a Canon 5D Mark III using a Yongnuo 560 Mark IV flash without any modifiers. This flash was sat on top of a light stand which was about chest height, pointing back towards me behind the couple. The camera settings were manual, obviously, ISO 1000, f2.8 and shutter 1/160th of a second. The lens I was using was a 16 to 35mm 2.8 lens. Now, as with all off-camera flash shots, you firstly set your manual ambient exposure on the camera before turning on the flashes. But if you want more of a step-by-step guide on how to use off-camera flash, please check out the video link below to another video I made on that. But you can see in my first test shot, the ambient exposure is very dark and the only light is coming from the flash. So I asked the groom to spray the atmosphere aerosol can all around them. Then I say stop, he puts his hand down, and then I take another test shot to check exposure, which is this one. Everything looks fine here, I just need more haze, like loads more haze. I think the wind was blowing, it's slightly taking the haze over to the left. Also, I noticed in this shot that the balloons aren't quite right. They need to be different heights for this to work. So what I did was just ask them to stay put. I adjusted the individual balloon heights for them, and we tried again. The next two I like much more, but there's still not enough haze. So what we did was wait for 30 seconds for the wind to die out a little bit. Then I asked the groom to spray the can again, absolutely cover them, and after about 20 seconds of continuous spraying, I said stop. He lowered his hand and I fired a couple more shots. Now, looking back at this photo a couple of years on, the only thing I would do differently now is to have another go to see what it looks like without a kiss. having some head separation, I think, would also work quite well. Not that I dislike this, I'm really happy with it, but silhouettes generally look a little bit more appealing with distinct outlines rather than two merged heads. But I'm being picky, and they're obviously kissing, and they love this image, so I'm happy with that. So if I jump into the edit in Lightroom, firstly I'll apply my import preset and a little crop in. I'm going to use my first adjustment brush to burn the edges and the lower part of the image to lose those shiny shoes, possibly even a spot removal to get rid of them completely. Then another adjustment brush with increased clarity to bring out that haze texture some more. If I turn this off and on, you can see the huge difference that brush makes. I love that. Now I could be done here, but I'm going to add another couple of brushes with different colours just to give a little more interest to that haze. Again, this isn't essential, I'm just playing. And that's it really. A really simple image that I think is really striking and would look mint enlarged on a wall. So if you've got any questions about this image, please ask away. Please subscribe to, and remember to check out the off-camera flash video if you're looking for more help on that. Let me know what you think in the comments about the image, and as always, thank you for your time and your support. See you again.